And as a final send-off, I will reply directly to her and say, I dare you to DMCA me. I'll be waiting. And I'll give her a little smiley face. There you go. And alright, we'll leave it on that. Hello, Internet. So, we are in the belly of the beast. This is Pizza Cake Comics Threads account where she made this post about me that has 4.2 thousand likes. I'm sure we can do better. Come on, guys. I know we can do better. And it should go without saying, do not send a message or harass this person in any way. This is just a little fun I am having on the internet, so don't take it too seriously. But if you don't know, I made 2 videos about her. The first one was, it was just about her content, and the second one was a little bit deeper of a dive into her history, not only on Reddit, but just on the internet in general. And if you want the summary of it, well, she has a voyeur account, so she basically does cuck porn with her husband while having a 16-year-old daughter, and I'm sure that is a great recipe for a great marriage and relationship. But anyway, Based If True seems to really like using the R slur. You know, I don't really think it matters what word you use to call someone stupid, they're gonna get the point, so it doesn't really matter that much, but let's see what others are saying. Something is a little off. Nobody takes the time or energy to make a video about the worst anything. The worst doesn't get attention because they're bad. Have you been on the internet? The worst always gets attention. They don't get views or interactions. Sounds like they're upset. Did you hurt their insides? Ah yes, I'm very hurt by your shitty comics. I'm gonna have to call my wife's boyfriend over to see if he can give me a pat on the back and some uplifting words. Oh, ain't that just a good sign of quality? No red flags there or nuttin'. Can they use your art in their videos? Seems like a potential copyright violation. I don't know. I would like to see you try to DMCA me, please, please, I invite it. I know you're in Canada, but in the US we have fair use, and I'm pretty sure that's what YouTube uses, so try me. Princess of Feral Cats, only white villains. You know, they laugh, but they don't call me wrong. Yeah, I've noticed a pattern in racists, transphobes, MAGA, and so-called free thinkers. They don't like to censor themselves for anyone and often use slurs they can get away with. Nobody I know who is decent uses the R slur. So is it just like a tactic to call it a slur to make the other person look worse? I don't know why they're so focused on this. How very shocking that someone who calls himself Based If True has a psyche that's perpetually trapped in middle school. You know what's funny is I've met plenty of middle schoolers who are way more intelligent than her in terms of forming arguments. So maybe if you want to insult me, we can lower our standards a bit. The guy in the video looks precisely like one of your incel characters. I kind of want to see which one they're talking about though. I had men's rights activists try to do the same thing about me. One of them was an hour long. Well, thankfully for our friend Pizza Cake over here, I don't care that much. I just got sent a random Kiwi Farms thread from one of my viewers, so I barely did any heavy lifting in that regard. Tell them this, don't go, we could be so miserable together. Hasn't your husband already been cucked enough? You got haters dedicated enough to make a fucking YouTube video. That's how you know you made it. That's funny because all of her engagement is primarily bots, unlike mine. So hopefully I'm gonna get just as big as her without needing Reddit mods to just, you know, throw me on the front page. Pizza Cake Derangement Syndrome. It doesn't have the same ring though. Part of me wants to check out these videos and the rest of me is like, there is not an incognito browser or VPN I trust enough to allow me to open that channel. Plus I don't want to give them views. Don't worry, it's getting enough views, at least compared to my subscribers. The red pill manosphere incel type strike again. I haven't heard this insult on my channel in such a long time, probably because most of you know I already have a fiance and have had one for, I think like 4 years. Yeah, I think it's 3 years coming on 4 pretty soon in November, but still. I'd rather be an incel than a cuck any day of the week. Sorry, it refreshed for some reason, so I'm gonna have to scroll back up again, but we have a bunch of new comments here. If only they spend as much time finding a hobby or career as they do attacking others for having one. I mean, if she saw how much I was making on YouTube month per month, it's only growing because my channel is growing. So, I certainly don't need an OnlyFans, and I even denied a sponsor, and I'm still doing pretty alright. LOL, the grifters be grifting, yet they still can't move out of mom's basement. Hey, I'm not in the basement, I'm on the top floor, alright? And also, she's getting older and needs help around the house, so I'm sure this person has a wonderful relationship with their family. The Venezuelan trans girl Norse pagan witch. That particular creator has the Gadsden flag. Very interesting. Oh my god, here we go. And yet not at all surprising. So apparently I'm a Confederate Nazi Because I have the Gadsden flag, even though the Gadsden flag is an American Revolution thing that has nothing to do with the Civil War or World War II. See, even this guy knows that it has nothing to do with it. And I'm not gonna let these people take the Gadsden flag and the history that it has. Fuck that. I refuse to be put in the same boats as these retards. The profile pic is always some shitposty nonsense or an animal. What's wrong with that? I'm not a furry or anything, so it's not like you can make fun of me for that. I'm just an avid floppa enjoyer, alright? The dark history, damn, that's pretty desperate. Click on my video, please, please, please. Sensationalism. I don't know, just because it's pretty normalized now doesn't mean I don't think that, you know, cucking your husband off and also running a porn account while you have a teenage daughter is a very good idea. And if I was Pizza Cake's son, I'd be pretty fucked in the head if you ask me. You know, I laugh about it, but there's just so much wrong with it, man. Dude, I'm so proud of you. Wow, congrats. Based if true, Jesus, I couldn't even satirize a username worse than that. I got one, Alpha Chad forever. Come on, Ulysses Fart Knocker, tell me what's wrong with my username. She's known for botting votes and Redditors just eat it up, they said, not realizing an immediate contradiction between the clauses in that sentence. I mean, there really isn't a contradiction though, you know, if your stuff gets botted and forced onto the front page, you know, obviously it's gonna get artificial engagement because it didn't arise naturally, so I don't see how that's very contradictory. Yeah, she makes some of the most generic left-wing comics, you know, you could ever imagine. So naturally they would be popular on Reddit, but still, the botting is very clear. I'd just like to say that if this is the dark history, that is probably the saddest thing I've heard anyone be upset over. I can't even gather the energy to laugh at something so pathetic. They use social media to sell their comics. Wow, so shocking. String her up. Yeah, I don't think that's what was in the video. Obviously, this person didn't read it. Wait until they find out my social media pays me. They're gonna poop bricks. That's not the only thing that pays you, though. I can tell you that. She creates comics depicting her critics as misogynist fat neckbeards every single time. Their evidence are two comics, one which is two kids standing on top of each other. Looks like an Oompa Loompa parody. The second is a man as skinny as herself. I think that wasn't really my critique though. I think my only criticism was that she just drew mainly straight white dudes as like the opposition. Even though there's plenty of, you know, minority groups that do support Trump and would qualify as MAGA, you know. But obviously it would be giving off the wrong message if she actually did make them, you know, a little darker. The dark history, did you date brown guys? I don't know if dating is the right word. So I watched this horseshit so the rest of y'all wouldn't have to. Literally exactly what you'd expect. A sad man reading straight from a troll site with the gist pretty much being how dare Ellen be a woman with her own agency and opinions and desire to control the content she posts online. Not worth anyone's time, even the point and laugh. Are any of them actually going to address the content that I specifically talked about in these, or the second video at least? Why can't they just say that cucking your husband and making porn while having a 16-year-old daughter is morally correct? Using your own artwork for their thumbnails to have trash takes is a thing, I guess. It's also illegal to use copyright protected content. I don't think that's true. I used it very fairly. Copyright strike time, but then I'm sure they'll make another deranged video about it. Hell yeah, I will. The extreme left woke cartoonists are trying to silence me. I mean, isn't that what you're doing? How else am I supposed to critique your work without presenting it, you know? Like I said, if you think that you're so correct about it, come at me. Do it. DMCA me right now. Use all that cuck porn money to sue me. Come on, do it. Oh man, I want to know what your dark history is though. I watched the video. One time I put water in cereal. Ugh, what a dilemma. I really want to watch because I know it'll be so out of its gourd hilarious, but also don't want to feed their views. I'll give you a synopsis. This slur is woke, and she makes slur propaganda, and only smart people like me know she pays bots to upvote her content because there's no way all these slurs could actually exist IRL. Why does she keep calling it a slur? Just say retard. It's not that difficult. And also, I never accused you of paying for bots. I just said they were botted. I didn't say who did it or what. It's just very obviously botted, and you still haven't proved that they weren't. I'm not really sure how you could disprove it, I guess, but the level of engagement versus, you know, how many people actually follow you, even though you get very, very consistent high engagement, things just don't add up, you know? Hey, you made it to the top. You're the worst political comment creator. $5 says the dude who made the video is a 35-year-old basement dweller who supports Trump. He is definitely a MAGA edgelord. Hey, that's not fair. I'm only 24, and like I said, I'm not in the basement, am I? You guys have all seen my room. But at least you got the edgelord part right. And here's the thing, I'm not even like a big manga guy either. I just do it because it's peak entertainment when you guys react to it. Like, you guys just, you can't help yourselves but freak the fuck out. There's certainly a lot of things I do not agree with Trump on. That's why we need Mentos Wave as our next president. There must be a lot of money of making shitty YouTube videos based off of Reddit content. There actually is a lot of money in it. Oh yeah, it's insane actually. Lots of weird incel types willing to fund hatred. That's funny because most of my content comes from ads, so if you have a problem with me making money, then I guess complain at YouTube or whoever advertises my videos. Again though, I'm very far from an incel. I mean, you guys, I've put pictures of my fiance on my channel before. Dude got so triggered by your comics, he spent days on end editing a very stupid video to cry about it. No, both those videos actually took me less than like 6 hours to make combined, just for the record. I don't know, I think you've really made it when you get one of the YouTubers that does deep dive videos to do a video on you and they hit 2 hours. Did both the videos even hit an hour? I don't think they did. Kind of funny that they're trying to make you look bad. I think you're doing a great job of that yourself, if you ask me. Basediftrue looks like a meth addict version of Barry Keoghan? Who the fuck is this? Are you sure this guy isn't already a meth addict? But I don't look anything like this guy. Your comics aren't even aggressive or preachy. That's the only thing I think they are. They're usually pretty ironic or sarcastic. Yes, I'm just ironically calling you a bigot, even though I think you're putting people and minorities in cages, like in one of her comics. Not sure that's the direction you want to take that comment. How did you manage to attract the attention of the weirdo incel crowd from the dark corners of the internet? Is my channel a dark corner? They like to talk about lolcows while spending every single day obsessing over random people on the internet. They are very strange people. I don't obsess over anyone on the internet. Once I turn the camera off, unless it's my own comments, I pretty much don't interact with anything or anyone else, given a few people on Discord, I guess, like the other YouTube creators. But I do get really sick and tired of going on the internet too long. Free advertising, ain't no such thing as bad publicity. Congratulations. I've already gotten a few new patrons. Well, I've gotten to 30,000 subscribers ever since those videos. I got a few hundred. And I think from the ad revenue from those videos, I've gotten like $600 in only like 3 days. So that's insane. I definitely think I came out on top in terms of revenue. Nova Scotia. Does this guy even know how to read? I forgot. It's Nova Scotia. Like, I'm sorry I don't know the phonetic geography of Canada. You know, it's not something and I've heard of this place like only once in my life. I think in high school or something, but you know, outside of that, I just do these videos on the spot, and unless it's important, I don't really look anything up. So yeah, there's your W. Good job. Can you hit them with copyright violations? Like I said, come and try. Turn that YouTube thumbnail into a plaque and hang it on your wall. Now that would be something. I would love to see that. I would consider that a win for me at the end of the day, because after this, I'm gonna move on. I don't give a fuck about you. Those thumbnails on the other ones, those are wild. These people need some mental health care. Congrats on being relevant enough to make them lose their minds though. Keep doing what you're doing. Yes, I've completely lost my mind after this. I don't know how I'll recover. Morbidly curious about the ChatGPT video. Don't quite want to watch it to find out though. Ooh, look at that. Even the haters are liking my thumbnails enough to want to click on it, you know? Call my channel shit, call it slop, call it whatever you want. But hey, my thumbnails are bangers. And I think all the other comments are basically the same. I mean, if you want to go through them, you can. She has a Threads account, and you may be able to look at all of them even without an Instagram account or whatever. But yeah, a lot of them are just repeated the same thing over and over again. And as a final send-off, I will reply directly to her and say, I dare you to DMCA me. I'll be waiting. And I'll give her a little smiley face. There you go. And all right, we'll leave it on that. And unfortunately, I can't see my comment here, even though I did hit the post button. Where is it? Oh, here it is, right here. So yeah, we'll see what she says, if she says anything, if she just blocks me, who knows. But anyway, this is all to be expected. The only thing that would make me happier out of this situation is if this video got more likes than her little thread. But thank you all for watching, and if a DMCA strike comes in, I will let you guys know immediately. But other than that, I think I'm just gonna leave it here unless she responds again. Then, you know, maybe I'll make a post about it, but probably not a video. But this is quite funny to read, so thank you Pizza Cake for calling me out a little bit. I'm definitely gonna be crying myself to sleep tonight in my my wife's boyfriend's arms, so I gotta go do that. So I will see you guys later. Peace, and thank you to all my patrons.